A whole new season of Rallycross starts right here. Welcome to the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship. It starts here at a blustery croft, it finishes back here in October, and there's going to be some great action in between. We've got new drivers, new cars, returning drivers, others jumping classes, and it's promising to be another fantastic season. The Supercars are where the main attention is going to be as we see who is going to follow in the footsteps of Dan Rook, the absent 2016 champion. It's another high quality entry. It's going to be another great season of all action racing. The end of an all-action third round, but going into the finals, Warren Scott, it will be on a pole position, with Kevin Proctor second and Nathan Heathcote third.
Oliver, you're making your debut here in Rallycross at Croft, and you've qualified fourth for the final. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I was a bit apprehensive when I come here. I was a bit nervous, just seeing really what the pace is. We've done some testing at Lyddon, and I felt comfortable in the car. Fourth, so fairly good position off the final, so I'm looking forward to it.
Warren, fastest time in Q3 and you're on pole position for the final on your debut. How does that feel?
It's been a great day. As I say, Liam, his father and all the team have done a fantastic job. The car's fantastic, and it's been a great start to a new challenge for me. But a fantastic day. This is a fantastic championship and I'm really enjoying it.
Opening round of the MSA British Rallycross Championship, the final for the Supercars. Warren Scott, Kevin Proctor and Nathan Heathcote row 1. Oliver Bennett, Julian GODFREY on the second row. Ollie O'Donovan, Jake Harris and Mad Mark Watson row 3. Waiting for the lights to blink green. Engine notes rise. We're racing. Who makes the best start? It's not Proctor. Warren Scott makes a good getaway, but Proctor is losing places on the way down towards Clermont. Warren Scott has the advantage, but Nathan Heathcote goes round the outside of him. Fantastic move. Nathan Heathcote comes out in front. Scott second, Godfrey third, and Kev the Rev. Kevin Proctor is only fourth. Warren Scott straight away tries to tighten the line and get up the inside of Heathcote, and there's drama at Hawthorne. Lots of smoke, lots of dust. Somebody's gone off the road. Well, Proctor is okay, he survives, but he's got work to do. But Nathan Heathcote leads the pack then. Second is Warren Scott, Julian GODFREY third as they come down to the hairpin. Kevin Proctor fourth then. Ollie Bennett fifth, Ollie O'Donovan is sixth. It may well have been Harris that had the moment, but the two race leaders together power their way over the line. Nathan Heathcote leading at the end of lap 1 from Warren Scott, and then Julian GODFREY in third place. Heathcote started the day with a race win in his first qualifying run. Can he round the day out with a win in the final? You've got two rookies to Supercars, first and second, Heathcote and Scott. But Warren Scott has not given up, that is for sure. On board with Proctor, he's running fourth here. Across the loose they come. So two different sorts of Citroens, first and second. Nathan Heathcote leading the way, Warren Scott second. C4 ahead of DS3, and Scott picks up a marker tyre. He's slow, coming through the hairpin. Julian GODFREY closes, and then he suddenly hesitates, and Kevin Proctor gets up the inside. Elbows out, Proctor tries to force a way through, but Warren Scott is delayed, he's off the road, and Proctor passes him. GODFREY's going to be second, Proctor is third and sideways. Warren Scott down to fourth. Wonderful racing this, and we're not done yet because Proctor is chipping his way up and up and up the order. Ollie O'Donovan now comes into the mix. He is in fifth spot, and his next target is Warren Scott then, who's dropped down the order. O'Donovan can be fairly brutal when he needs to be, and he's about to give the former touring car racer a bit of a workover, I suspect. The former British champion O'Donovan closing onto the back of Scott. Down to the hairpin they come in the dust storm. Proctor runs out a little bit wide. Scott is wide, he's assaulted by O'Donovan, the two make contact. This is for second. GODFREY hits Proctor, but Proctor is going through. Fantastic action everywhere you look. Jake Harris versus Mad Mark Watson, two more Citroens running together. But up front, Nathan Heathcote is almost on his own now because everybody else has been squabbling behind him. Change for second place. Look, Proctor is ahead of GODFREY now, second and third. The local hero, the man from just down the road really, near Northallerton, Kevin Proctor is trying his hardest to close on Nathan Heathcote, but it might be too little too late here. The gap might be too big. There's Warren Scott with O'Donovan going for a gap that's not really there, but he forces the issue and turns Scott around. Warren Scott forced into a spin. Ollie O'Donovan has to go round the outside of Warren Scott. He's still way off the road, starting the last lap though. Well, he's gained a place in fairly robust fashion, you might say. Nathan Heathcote, though, is being caught, no question, by Kevin Proctor. Can Nathan Heathcote hang on in there? Remember, it was another not great start by Proctor, but boy, he's raced really hard. He's closing. Onto the loose they come, and there is Warren Scott. The dream debut is no more. Mad Mark Watson is a retirement. Warren Scott has rejoined, but a long way back, as with a corner to go. Nathan Heathcote versus Kevin Proctor. Nathan Heathcote, who's never raced a Rallycross Supercar up until today, has done a tremendous job. He's going to hang on in there and come through to score victory. Nathan Heathcote wins, Kevin Proctor second at the end of the first Supercar final of the year. Nathan Heathcote victorious with Kevin Proctor second, Ollie O'Donovan third from Oliver Bennett. Then it's Julian Godfrey and Jake Harris to round out the top six.
Nathan, your first race in a supercar and you won. How does that feel?
Oh, it's amazing. To be fair, I thought I'd go out and probably get fourth or maybe third, and then to get around the first corner ended up winning it. I couldn't see anything in my mirrors, just every lap I went round I could see tyres, so I didn't really know what was going on behind me. But yeah, I was just so happy to come away with the win.
This is how we look at the end of a great day of racing at Croft. Nathan Heathcote is the championship leader by 3 points over Kevin Proctor. Ollie O'Donovan third from Oliver Bennett and Julian Godfrey. So what a way to start the championship season. 2 new names at the top of the leaderboard with Warren Scott and Nathan Heathcote, stars to watch as we head next to Lyddon. For round 2 of this year's British Rallycross Championship, we come to Lyddon Hill in Kent, the spiritual home of the sport, and a venue that always lends itself to all-action racing. Kevin Proctor on pole position, Julian Godfrey second, Steve Hill missing, broken drive shaft we understand on his way to the grid, can you believe? Warren Scott, Ollie Bennett row 2, Double OD, Ollie O'Donovan, Jake Harris and Mad Mark at the back. Mad Mark is missing, so you've got Ollie Bennett at the back as we go racing. Great start by Warren Scott, he dives through the middle. Kevin Proctor is at the inside of Julian Godfrey and there's contact. Proctor rides up the side of Warren Scott's car. He's on 2 wheels, he forces Scott out wide, but Warren stands his ground and he still leads the way. Fantastic. Proctor is second, third is Julian Godfrey, but that was a big impact into the side of Warren Scott's Citroen. How much damage has that done to his car? How much has it done to Proctor's car? The smoke pouring off the back corner of Warren Scott's car as the bodywork rubs against the tyre. You've got to fear that that's going to go bang at any moment. Kevin Proctor runs second, Julian Godfrey looks to the inside, can't find a way through though. They work their way through paddock. Proctor's car dancing left and right, he's all up the curb there, and he's losing ground relative to Warren Scott because he's also got to defend from Julian Godfrey. They work their way through Chesson's Drift, none of them jokering at this point, and Godfrey is back on the tail of Proctor, and I fear that Kevin's car is compromised after that contact. They turn their way now through the Devil's Elbow. Proctor goes wide. Julian Godfrey is right there. Does he commit to the inside line? Yes, he does. Here he comes. Yep, the inside. The 2 Fiestas are side by side. Proctor is sideways. Godfrey's through. Julian Godfrey, 5 times the British champion, goes second. And Kevin Proctor's dog-eared Fiesta drops back behind him. So, next target for Julian Godfrey is Warren Scott, the race leader. Proctor way wide over the grass as he goes for the Joker lap now. So Julian Godfrey chases Warren Scott. Kevin Proctor is going to fall back from them while he serves the Joker lap this time. Remember, it was Nathan Heathcote that won at Croft, and after his issues during the day, he's not even on the grid for this race. O'Donovan on the back of Ollie Bennett, turning his way now up through the Devil's Elbow. Bennett just staves him off. The former rallyman under attack. Double OD, Ollie O'Donovan goes for the inside. There's just about room. What a move. Ollie O'Donovan breathes in, squeezes through a gap. And having got past the Fiesta, O'Donovan starts to pull clear. He's on a mission, he really is. I mean, look at the way he's going from the back of the grid as well, remember. Bennett this time goes for the Joker lap. Behind, Jake Harris goes for the normal run through Chesson's. Now, Warren Scott leads Julian Godfrey, but the gap is coming down. Warren Scott's only hope here is to push and hope that the tyre lasts. Proctor versus Bennett. Proctor stays ahead. Through the Devil's Elbow they turn. There's Warren Scott, he still leads the way. He raced motorbikes, he came into circuit racing in the Lotus Cup, then the British Touring Car Championship. He was a racer, then a racer and a team owner, now a rallycross driver as well. He leads from Godfrey, but the gap is coming down and down and down. They both serve the Joker lap. Godfrey can't find a way past him there because there's just not the width of the road, so he's stuck behind Warren Scott. And there is O'Donovan for the race lead. Amazing! Ollie O'Donovan goes through, he leads the way. Godfrey wallops the barriers, destroys the front corner of the car. That's the end of it for Julian Godfrey. Big problems for Godfrey. So O'Donovan leads the way. Warren Scott second. Now, has that tyre survived? I think it's going, but it looks as though there's just about air in it. But Warren Scott's car is no longer as quick as Ollie O'Donovan, with a slow puncture, at least let's call it that. Warren Scott is on target for second, but Ollie O'Donovan from the back row wins here at Lyddon. What a race for the supercars. Ollie O'Donovan wins, Warren Scott second, Ollie Bennett third ahead of Jake Harris, Kevin Proctor the only other finisher. Wow!
Ollie, you gave us your strategy on the pre-grid before the final and it played out slightly differently, but with an even better result for you.
Unfortunately, we didn't have plan B, so doing the Joker quite early, and I was counting the seconds going up the hill here, and the next time round I'd taken nearly 8 seconds out of them with the boys in front, so I thought, big push, we could just might scrape this in.
2 rounds in, what does this do to the championship? Well, Ollie O'Donovan leads the way, Oliver Bennett second, Kevin Proctor drops to third ahead of Warren Scott and Jake Harris, Julian Godfrey is sixth. It has been an all-action day here at Lyddon. The next stop for the British Rallycross Championship is Pembrey. For round 3 of the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship, we head to South Wales and Pembrey, where Julian Godfrey is among those eager for a good result this weekend.
Julian, you haven't started on pole position for a final since Pembrey this time last year. What can you do?
Hopefully the final will go better than it has been this year.
And you've had good pace all day here, haven't you?
Yeah, very good pace. I think in the second heat I was 11 seconds quicker than the second guy. And then the 30, I think, again, 8 seconds in front.
Julian Godfrey then has got just 4 points. That puts him on pole for the final. Ollie Bennett and Andy Grant with him at the front. Lights go green and we go racing. Who is going to win round 3 of the British Championship? Ollie Bennett defends straight away from Julian Godfrey. Grant and Watson, they go for the Joker lap. Mad Mark in the Citroen, Grant in the Focus. So Godfrey leads the way. Bennett second and Steve Hill there, round the outside of James Grint in the new debuting Mitsubishi Mirage that's all sideways. Great car control, he gets it back and he stays ahead of the Mitsubishi Evo as well. Nathan Heathcote next in the queue, the man who won at Croft at the start of the season. Warren Scott is in trouble already though, he retires. We don't have Ollie O'Donovan in this race either. He, remember, was the winner at Lyddon, so this is going to be a very important race as far as the championship is concerned for whoever wins it, because they stand to really make a bit of progress here. It's a very different look to the front of the pack. Julian Godfrey has the advantage, and given his experience and his success, he ought to be able to pull away now. Hill has got Heathcote right behind him, almost pushing him through Honda Curve. They could not be closer, those two. Over the line together. Now down towards Hatchett. Both of them take that short run. The Joker lap is the longer route, and Steve Hill understeers out wide. Has he got a problem? Nathan Heathcote is away and gone. And Ollie Bennett in his Fiesta is absolutely on the limit. That car fabulous to watch. The pendulums left and right. Hill, having lost his place to Heathcote, is losing chunks of time. I'm fearful for the reliability and the longevity of that Mitsubishi again. Julian Godfrey leading the way. Ollie Bennett, new to Rallycross this year, gets better each time out. There you got James Grint in the Mitsubishi, really short, stubby little car, that hanging on to third place and keeping Nathan Heathcote in the Citroen behind him. C4 that he's been driving is, at least for this weekend, pensioned off. He's got the DS3 at his disposal instead. There, going through Honda Curve is James Grint, heading up towards the timing line. Away, way wide goes Heathcote, all over the weeds. Back onto the tarmac, but ground is lost against the leaders. Heathcote now serves the Joker lap and James Grint pulls away up the road. Now the cars thread their way out of that chicane and onto the loose surface. Julian Godfrey leading the way, Ollie Bennett second, but I just think, again, given his experience, that Julian Godfrey is going to be too tall an order to catch really now. There he goes towards Honda Curve, the advantage building all the time. On board with Ollie Bennett then now as he works his way up towards the run to the hairpin. Now how is he going to fare relative to those ahead? He could be on for his best finish of the season here. James Grint serves the joker, slots in behind Nathan Heathcote, so the order continues to shuffle. That's one of the beauties of the joker lap. There is Mad Mark Watson turning his way through now. Julian Godfrey across the loose, looking as though a win is going to be his now. It's been a difficult start to the season for him, but as he works his way out of Honda Curve, up towards the timing line, Ollie Bennett, the opposition, is falling away just a little. Out of Hatchets. There is Mad Mark, who's also had a very difficult start to the season, but it looks for him as though the results are starting to come here as well. Bennett, you're on board with him now, battles his way through. Race leaders work their way across the loose for this, the final time of asking. Up towards the timing line, it is going to be a win, seemingly then, for Julian Godfrey. We're going to have 3 different winners in 3 rounds in the Supercar class of the British Rallycross Championship. Julian Godfrey wins at Pembrey, second across the line, Ollie Bennett. Drama all the way. Julian Godfrey wins, Ollie Bennett second, and Nathan Heathcote up to third ahead of Grint, Grant and Mad Mark.
Julian, it's been a little while since we've seen you standing on the top step of the Supercar podium. You must be delighted.
Yeah, last year here at Pembrey, on the second day I got on the podium top spot, so no, very pleased to be back at the top, and some good points today, and this brought the championship very, very close again, near the top end.
After a great day's racing at Pembrey, it's Ollie Bennett who leads the championship. He's ahead of Ollie O'Donovan with Julian Godfrey up to third, and Kevin Proctor now takes over fourth place. The next stop for the British Rallycross Championship is Mondello Park in Ireland for a double header using the circuit both clockwise and anti-clockwise. Ollie O'Donovan topped qualifying fastest in each of the 3 races. Nathan Heathcote second, Derek Tohill third. A long way back though, Ollie Bennett only 11th at the end of the 3 qualifying heats. The first of the 2 semi-finals was won by that man O'Donovan. Derek Tohill chasing him home, Steve Hill third, Ollie Bennett making it through fourth. While the second semi was won by Julian Godfrey from Kevin Proctor, Pat Duran and then Jake Harris. This is the one that all eyes are going to be on. It is a dry circuit, more or less. Ollie O'Donovan is on pole position, Julian Godfrey, Derek Tohill alongside. Kevin Proctor and Steve Hill are on row 2. Pat Duran, Ollie Bennett, Jake Harris on the back row of the grid. 6 laps of action, it's go! Who makes the best start then? They lean on each other down to turn 1. Godfrey is the meat in the sandwich in the middle, getting squeezed by both sides. Derek Tohill is spat sideways, but he keeps on coming. O'Donovan just goes through into the lead of the race, but Derek Tohill elbows him out of the way. Godfrey goes for the joker lap, so does Proctor. And Ollie O'Donovan is in charge as they drop downhill for the first time. Ollie O'Donovan then leads the way. Godfrey and Proctor and also Ollie Bennett get the joker out of the way early. Double OD, Ollie O'Donovan has had some hard racing with Derek Tohill all day. We're not done yet. There is Jake Harris running in third spot now. Steve Hill has got himself ahead of Julian Godfrey, so the Mitsubishi there, look, is ahead of the Fiesta. And Pat Duran next in this queue of cars as they blast over the line. And Godfrey's on the attack up the inside here. He's level with Steve Hill in the background as O'Donovan leads the way. Does he joker? Not this time, nor does Tohill. On board with O'Donovan now. Hits the loose briefly and then threads his way back towards tarmac. More traction and more speed. Steve Hill is on the joker lap this time. Through they turn as Ollie O'Donovan dances the Fiesta back onto the tarmac. Derek Tohill, a very experienced and very successful rallycrosser, is right there behind him, desperate for a win on home soil here. He's not doing the British Championship, but he wants to uphold home honour, as it were. He attacks O'Donovan once again. It's 2 Irish drivers together. O'Donovan gets a tap in the tail and gets sideways, and here comes Tohill. Tries to go through, but he can't do it. And in strife there, getting all sideways, is Jake Harris. That forces Duran to go to the joker lap. Through he turns, Drops downhill, there's another of those chicanes, but of course everybody has to do a joker lap at least once in the race. Up front it's O'Donovan still leading the way, but only just now. Nose to tail, the two race leaders. Can Ollie O'Donovan score a victory here? Remember, he won at Lyndon. We've had 3 different winners in each of the first 3 rounds. He brakes so late, the car gets sideways as he stamps on the middle pedal going into the first turn, and now he jokers. Slaloms his way through the tyres, grabs second gear, up to third, stand on the brakes again, down to first. Turn right, turn left, he loses the lead to Tohill, but Derek's yet to joker. Significantly though, O'Donovan rejoins behind Julian Godfrey. That is going to make life tough for him now to try and find a way past him. Kevin Proctor has got Ollie Bennett up behind him. This, the best we've seen of the supercars all season. There are more of them, and therefore the racing has been so intense. And also you've got this sort of Inter-Nations Cup rivalry between the British Championship drivers and the Irish home contingent. Derek Tohill this time goes for the joker lap. This is Julian Godfrey's chance to get himself in front, and Ollie O'Donovan wants to get past Godfrey as well. Where's Tohill in all of this? Is he ahead? Is he behind? He's behind. He loses out to both of them. Julian Godfrey leads the way. He's got Double OD right up behind him, indeed in the back of him. O'Donovan hits him, forces Godfrey out wide. Julian sticks out his elbows. He's having none of that, thank you very much, as over the brow they come. And Godfrey squeezes O'Donovan, but bite a bit in a way, so he had to give way there. Derek Tohill's car looking ever more doggy in his third and being caught by Kevin Proctor, look, who's taking Ollie Bennett with him, and Bennett's up the inside of Proctor with a lap to run now. Contact between the two, Bennett goes through, can he hang on to it? Just about. Ollie Bennett then goes up into 4th place. There's going to be a lot of midnight oil burnt at the end of this to get these cars looking something like what they should do for tomorrow, but Julian Godfrey could make it 2 in a row. He won at Pembrake and he's flown under the radar all day. It was O'Donovan fastest in the 3 qualifying runs, but here with good racecraft and effectively keeping out of trouble, Julian Godfrey is on target for a win at Mondello Park. He comes through, there's no checkered flag, but it's a win for Julian Godfrey at the end of 6 laps. Julian Godfrey takes the race win ahead of Ollie O'Donovan, and Derek Tohill in 3rd in the end. Oliver Bennett's 4th ahead of Kevin Proctor, and then Steve Hill 6th.
Julian, your 2nd victory in a row, that puts your championship challenge really in a good position.
Yeah, no, it should be in a very good position. I don't know where Oliver Bennett finished. Ollie's obviously just behind me, so I've gained 3 points on Ollie. It was a real tough one, very tough off the start line, but no, it's a really good final.
Ollie, you were fastest through the qualifying stage of the event. You had a really close battle with Derek Tohill in the semi-final and then again in the final.
Yeah, we had a great battle. Semi-final, we lost the lead twice, we gained it back and we won it. But I have to say, old King Julian came in there in the final and he got the better of me off the start line, and I couldn't do any more. I couldn't catch him in after that. Tried everything. Every race has been really close, so we've enjoyed it.
Oliver, difficult day for you. You pushed hard in the final, made a couple of brilliant overtaking manoeuvres and finished 4th, but that's actually 3rd in the British Championship points, so you must be pretty pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm very pleased. Like I said, it's a difficult day. We took a few knocks through the day. Back of the grid, I think every race, back of the grid in the final. So really, yeah, I had the pace and it was just trying to make it stick and get past people. We've done it, and yeah, third point, so I couldn't be happier really.
4 rounds done. Julian Godfrey now joint championship leader with Ollie Bennett. They're on 100 each. Ollie O'Donovan is 3rd, Kevin Proctor 4th ahead of Nathan Heathcote and Mad Mark. Tomorrow they run in the opposite direction, and that will be action aplenty. It's day 2 of an all-action weekend here at Mondello Park in Ireland. The teams have been burning the midnight oil to get cars race ready. It's day 2 of a double header, and it's vital for points. Having topped qualifying on Saturday, Ollie O'Donovan did it again on Sunday ahead of Ollie Bennett and Derek Tohill, with Kevin Proctor only 4th. Honours in the first semi-final went the way of Julian Godfrey, Tony Bardi chasing him home, local hero Noel Green 3rd, while Ollie Bennett triumphed in the 2nd semi-final from Proctor and Nathan Heathcote. This is the MSA British Rallycross Championship final. 6 laps ahead of us. It's all eyes on the grid, where Ollie Bennett starts on pole. Julian Godfrey is alongside him, and then Kevin Proctor. Row 2 is Tony Bardi and Nathan Heathcote. Row 3, Noel Green, Steve Hill and Derek Tohill. 6 laps of action. When the lights go green, we are racing! Good start by Proctor on the outside, good start by Bennett on the inside. Julian Godfrey gets into the side of Proctor, and out of nowhere, Derek Tohill goes third. Fantastic start. He's sideways, he's in the dust storm. He drops back behind Godfrey. Down to the hole in the hedge they come for the first time, but an absolutely demon start by Derek Tohill from last on the grid. Who jokers early? Bardi does, Hill does behind him. The race leaders then dance their way across the loose for the first time. Ollie Bennett it is, and he's got a bit of a break over Kevin Proctor second. It's Julian Godfrey third, Derek Tohill is fourth, Nathan Heathcote fifth then as they work their way up towards the end of lap number 1. But Bennett trying to get away from the pack, busy scrapping behind him as they come through. Proctor is under attack from Julian Godfrey here, and Godfrey's under attack from Derek Tohill here, and out wide goes Proctor. How wide has he gone? He's going to have to pay to get back in a minute. There he is. Rejoins the road, but from second, he's down to third, down to fourth, nearly down to fifth. Nathan Heathcote goes ahead of him as well. Godfrey and Tohill take the joker lap. And so now, as the leaders come back across the loose, Kevin Proctor drops way down the order. He'll be absolutely furious with himself because that's another good result gone begging. Towards the timing line they come, and Godfrey now, head down, is charging on behind Ollie Bennett. The gap between the top two is diminishing all the time here. Tony Bardi battles with Steve Hill over the line, and Hill goes through at turn 1. Through the right-hander of Mobile 1, the Mitsubishi is ahead of the Ford. Ollie Bennett, though, he's going to have to make this car grow in width because he's got Julian Godfrey bearing down on him. Across the loose section, that shuttle that brings them down towards the final right-hander. Bennett up the curb and sideways. Godfrey, 5 times a British champion, the only double winner this year in the Supercar category, the only man to have won more than once. He's right there behind Bennett, trying to unsettle him as Bennett gets really sideways. That's going to lose him a bit of momentum. Here comes Godfrey, looks for the inside, can't do it. Bennett does make his Fiesta wide enough. He serves the joker this time. Godfrey accelerates through into the lead of the race. But what can Bennett do about him as the race continues? Up into second place now goes Nathan Heathcote in the Citroen. And Ollie Bennett is on the loose through this chute that brings him back down to the end of the lap. He has stayed ahead of Tohill significantly and ahead of Kevin Proctor as well. Steve Hill is fending off Tony Bardi, but Julian Godfrey now looks as though he could be on not only for a second win of the weekend, but a third win of the season. He didn't start off too promisingly at Croft nor at Lyddon, but since Pembrey and here, he's absolutely flying. Nathan Heathcote this time goes for the joker lap. It's going to make for a very exciting end to the championship season. There's Lyddon, another visit to Pembrey, and then back to Croft for the final round still to come. Wide goes Heathcote, Derek Tohill gets up the inside and through he goes. Derek Tohill, the Irishman, gains a place, goes ahead of the Croft winner. So Tohill not chasing championship points, but he does want to be on that podium as the best of the Irish drivers and see how many British Championship scalps he can claim. Through Mobile 1 they turn up towards the hole in the hedge. This is the tight right-hander. It's even tighter if you serve the joker lap. Tohill lets the back of the car step out, he's on the pad, drags it round the other side. It's been great to have Derek Tohill in the championship this weekend, but up front Julian Godfrey leads and Ollie Bennett is almost with him. The gap is coming down and down and down with only a couple of corners to go. Bennett tries to straight line the corner using the curve, but it doesn't work for him. Julian Godfrey is set for win number 3 of the season, win number 2 of the weekend. Julian Godfrey wins, Ollie Bennett takes second at the end of a great race. Let's just confirm those results. Julian Godfrey the winner from Ollie Bennett and Derek Tohill third. Nathan Heathcote fourth ahead of Kevin Proctor. Steve Hill sixth, Noel Green seventh, Tony Bardi eighth.
A great drive in the final, just not quite enough to beat Julian today.
Yeah, it was great. I was going into the final. I knew I had pole, so I was in a good position. I led from the start, had a really good start and just pulled then. And then it was just a case of how quick could I get round. It's really hard to know how far to push it when you're leading. So a bit cautious in places maybe, but yeah, I couldn't have done better.
And as far as the championship is concerned, Julian Godfrey leaves Ireland 3 points ahead of Ollie Bennett. Ollie O'Donovan is third ahead of Kevin Proctor. Nathan Heathcote fifth and Mad Mark is sixth. This weekend, the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship is back at Lyddon Hill in Kent. The championship looking somewhat different now in terms of who's done the winning from when we were last here at Easter.
Ollie, you're back in the focus, you're in the Fiesta at Mondello Park, you're third in the championship, a few points behind. Can you catch that gap up before the end of the year?
Yeah, I think we really have to work with the drop scores. I can't afford to have any more bad scores, so at least I have to fight for the podium, and I'm going to really try and fight for the win.
Oliver, it's your first year in the sport. You're improving with every event, and now you're at a circuit where you've been several times. So what are your hopes for today?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to today. Like I said, the car's getting better. We're learning things each time. Setup changes. We're changing quite a lot every time. Like you said, I know the track, so we're really here. I'm just hunting for time and where can we tweak the car, little bits of places. It's a really good track for me as a driver to develop, because I can give good feedback. And then yeah, we're just trying to get some quick times and hopefully win some races. So.
The final is ready for the MSA British Rallycross Championship. The supercars are on track. Warren Scott pole, Nathan Heathcote, Julian Godfrey row 1, Kevin Proctor, Ollie Bennett row 2, Pat Duran, Steve Hill, Jake Harris row 3. Steve Hill missing, he's given his grid position to Ollie O'Donovan. Lights go green! The ultimate rallycross cars blast away, and it's Nathan Heathcote who takes the advantage ahead of Warren Scott. Ollie Bennett 3rd, Kevin Proctor 4th, Pat Duran is 5th. Across the loose they come for the first time then. They storm their way across the loose onto the tarmac. You bring that dust with you, it makes it slippy, and Heathcote goes wide at the elbow. That means that Warren Scott goes past him, and it means that Warren Scott is the race leader. Warren Scott, who has never won a final in Rallycross, it's his debut season in the category, leads at Lyddon. There, 3rd is Ollie Bennett, and as they head downhill, Proctor is 4th and 5th is Pat Duran, with the jokers, those that have served the joker lap, next in the queue. Wide is Bennett, kicks up the dirt through the chicane. Warren Scott leads the way, but Nathan Heathcote, winner at Croft at the start of the season when he was in the Citroën C4, is looking for a way by. They accelerate their way uphill then now. Warren Scott it is. He has the advantage. Nathan Heathcote 2nd, and he closes a little bit under braking. Downhill they run towards Paddock. Scott has the advantage, but he's not really getting away. Nathan Heathcote keeping him honest as the sideways Ollie Bennett 3rd. Jake Harris pushing on as well, lower down the order as now Heathcote goes for the joker lap. There is Ollie Bennett across the loose. Nathan Heathcote is just ahead of Pat Duran. Duran in the car that Heathcote used at the start of the season. Pat Duran feels much more comfortable in that C4. The DS3 in the hands of Nathan Heathcote, and through the hairpin they come. Heathcote desperately wants another victory just to prove it wasn't a flash in the pan, but the pace is good. Is it as good as Warren Scott's? Scott also LD Motorsports run. Now there is Julian Godfrey. Remember, he won at Pembrey. He won both finals at Mondello Park, but he's got work to do here. Ollie O'Donovan, having been gifted a place on the grid, looks like he's got another puncture. The car seemed to be low again on the front left, just as he had a puncture in semi-final 2. Has it happened again? This is going to be a real blow to his championship hopes if it is the case. Heathcote versus Bennett as they climb uphill now. Into the hairpin they turn. Bennett forces the issue on the inside. Nathan Heathcote runs out wide and oh so nearly put him on the grass there, but Bennett backs out of it, so Nathan Heathcote hangs on to the place. Through paddock they run. Nathan Heathcote in the Citroën just ahead of the Ford in the hands of Ollie Bennett. Onto the last lap they go now. Julian Godfrey runs behind them, and Warren Scott serves the joker and stays ahead. Warren Scott is on target for a first ever Rallycross final win. What a result that would be. He's raced on 2 wheels, he's raced briefly in the British Touring Car Championship, he's established teams, he's run teams, and now he moves to Rallycross this year, and farmer Warren Scott is up front and looks as though a win is going his way. Ollie Bennett 3rd, Nathan Heathcote between them. The checkered flag is at the ready, and Warren Scott is going to win for the first time in British Rallycross. He wins the final here at Lyddon Hill. Great drive by Warren Scott. Through for 2nd place, Nathan Heathcote, and 3rd, Ollie Bennett. Another all-action race. Scott, Heathcote, Bennett, the top 3. Godfrey 4th ahead of Proctor and Duran. O'Donovan 7th, and Jake Harris comes home in 8th place.
Warren, you didn't get the perfect start there in the final, but you passed your teammate on the first lap and led from the front.
Yeah, no, he made a cracking start. I tried to keep my nose in front, but it would have been taken both out, so I slipped in behind him. To get it here at Lyddon is great. It's my first race. It's great, so I've had a great day.
Oliver, you scored your first ever Rallycross podium here in your second ever event at Lydden Hill in April, and you've scored another third place finish. This is great for your championship campaign.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't have done much more. I was second row on the grid, obviously, so to even come away with the podium today, I was quite pleased. Really, I had to push through the pack at the start, kept the pace. Luckily, through the jokers and things, we kept the third position, so yeah, I couldn't ask for more today, really.
Nathan, you qualified on the front row for the final and a fantastic start to lead on the first lap.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a brilliant start. I mean, I was a bit shocked how good I got away, and then I was absolutely gutted that I went and threw it away down at the bottom of the hill. Yeah, no, it's great for the team. It's good to get 1-2. I mean, I was hoping to do it further on in the season, maybe on the first race, but yeah, no, it's great.
You take the points after Lydden, and it's just 1 point advantage that Julian Godfrey has now over Ollie Bennett. Ollie O'Donovan third, but he's dropped away. He's only a point up on Kevin Proctor. Our next stop is Pembrey. This weekend, the MSA British Rallycross Championship hits South Wales. We're back at Pembrey for a crucial weekend. It's a double header, with the circuit being run clockwise on one day, anti-clockwise on the other.
Julian, you're no stranger at all to leading British Championships. You've won 5 of them, 5 in a row in fact, but it's looking quite tight. There's 6 guys that could still win this. What's your approach for today?
Just try and keep it, try and get to the end. Pembrey's always been fairly good to me, so I've had good results here, so hopefully I can stay there today.
Kevin, almost unbelievably, you haven't been on the podium since the first round of the season. You're fast at every event. I know last time here you had some differential problems that put you out, but you're still in with a chance at this championship. What are your hopes for today?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've had a few bits of issues with the car, and I've maybe not been driving to my best ability, but this weather may suit me, so I'm hoping for a good result this weekend. I could just do with 2 good results to get me back up there.
Steve, I know the car arrived late last night and you're going to be using these last 3 rounds of the season as development for next year. By your own standards, you've had a solid season. What are your expectations for this weekend?
Yeah, we've made a lot of progress with the car this year, tried a lot of things, and we've got to a certain level that we feel we need to improve on with some different suspension and stuff. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to test for the rest of the year. I think once early in the year we got the transmission sorted, it's all been going much better.
It's a double header at Pembrey gave a win apiece to Julian Godfrey and Nathan Heathcote. Godfrey won on Saturday. In the other direction, Heathcote won on Sunday in dreadful weather conditions. But he was the master, and he brings himself now into title contention. Warren Scott was one of those in strife, Jake Harris with damage. The Heathcote-Godfrey battle for the crown raged on the track as well, but it was Nathan Heathcote ahead when it mattered. The Citroën ahead of the Fiesta, they ran nose to tail, but Nathan Heathcote was on target for victory, his second of the season, having won at Croft at the beginning of the year. 8 rounds in, Julian Godfrey leads the championship by 10 points from Nathan Heathcote, with rookie Ollie Bennett third ahead of the now injured Ollie O'Donovan fourth.
Nathan, they've been really tough conditions for everyone today. You scored your first win of the year at Croft on your debut, and you've scored another one today. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing, to be fair. In the final, I made a big mistake and thought I'd thrown it all away. But yeah, no, to come away with the win is like so happy with it.
Julian, a fantastic battle in the final. You were very close to beating Nathan. You lost a bit of time on the last lap.
That's right, yeah, he made a mistake on the lap before, and I should have went up beside him, but I backed out of it because I see him coming back across the track. So I backed out to keep any damage, and second place is better than an 8th place.
Oliver, your consistent season keeps delivering another podium finish for you. How's today been?
Yeah, another podium. Today's been difficult, I guess, for me. It's the first ever proper wet race I've had this morning. I did quite enjoy it, actually, so yeah, I don't know if that was a bad thing, but it's dried up through the day, and then I guess that's where I'm more uncomfortable then, because I've done the most seat time in that condition. So yeah, the car's running well and couldn't ask for better, really.
The final round of the Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Championship is here at Croft. This is where it all began back in March, and now we have a 2-way shootout for the title. So, after his win at Pembrey, is Nathan Heathcote the man to beat?
A few rounds ago you were well out of this championship, and now you're only 10 points behind Julian. What can you do here?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be trying everything to get the edge on Julian here. I think it works out that I've got to come first and he's got to come 6th to win the championship, so there's a lot for me to do, but yeah, just had practice and that went well, so it's looking good.
Julian, you're a 5-time British Rallycross champion. You've been in this position many times before. What's your strategy for today?
Just trying to stay out of trouble. I haven't got to win the event today. Just try and get on the front or the second row of the final, and just try and keep it to the end.
After qualifying at Croft, it was Nathan Heathcote topping the points, Julian GODFREY third, and Ollie Bennett fifth. And the three title fighters would go into the first of the two semi-finals. The pressure was on. Semi-final one. As the lights go green, 5 on the grid and 4 go through. One driver will drop out, and it's absolutely vital as Nathan Heathcote dives up on the inside to survive all of this and go through into the final. And that was a blinding move by Nathan Heathcote, through on the inside line. He goes wide at Hawthorn though. Is that going to compromise him? Let's see. Big slide by Duran. He just hauls it back, but he's 5th, and that means he will drop out unless he can get past Grant. GODFREY bouncing his way off the road. In fact, he hits the ruts and he hits the tyre stack. He's got a big problem now. Nathan Heathcote just finds the room to squeeze past, but Julian GODFREY makes a rare error. Nathan Heathcote is going to come through to win semi-final one. It might be deemed a fortuitous win, but it's a win nonetheless. Heathcote is victorious from Bennett, and then GODFREY third. This is the race everybody has been waiting for, the MSA British Rallycross Championship showdown. Nathan Heathcote on pole from Warren Scott and Ollie Bennett. Steve Hill and Kevin Proctor on row 2. Julian GODFREY is on row 3. Andy Grant and Mad Mark are out with sensor and transmission problems respectively. The lights go green. Nathan Heathcote blasts away and he picks up the advantage on board with Steve Hill down towards Clairvaux for the first time. Pat Duran and Jake Harris, by the way, are in as the reserves, and Duran goes wide at the first corner. Heathcote leads the way. Now he has got to win this with Julian GODFREY 6th or lower. Nathan Heathcote up front, then he can do no more than that, but he's rather dependent on what the others do and what therefore happens to Julian GODFREY. So Heathcote leads, Scott 2nd, Duran is 3rd, Bennett 4th, Hill 5th, 6th is Proctor, and 7th is GODFREY. That would be enough to give the championship then to Nathan Heathcote. Let's see. Bennett getting into the back of Warren Scott. Hill gets up the inside. Julian GODFREY's got to make progress here. He's got to be in the top 5. He's got past Proctor. Now there's a chance to challenge on the inside line. This is Hill who's off the road and back on again. There are cars everywhere. Visibility is limited. And down towards Clairvaux they come. Where is GODFREY? 6th. That's not quite enough. But he's now got himself up past Duran since they went over the timing line, and Hill has dropped back as well. So they're shuffling at every corner. Proctor has picked up more damage. And have a look up the road. Somebody's looking very smoky. It's GODFREY, I think. It is. Look, the rear wheel's loose. Julian GODFREY's got broken suspension. The championship leader is out of the race. Julian GODFREY's car is stranded. Look at the back of it. He's picked up big damage somewhere. Ollie Bennett slides his way down to the hairpin, but with Julian GODFREY out of the race, Nathan Heathcote now can go for the race win and go for the championship win at the same time. High drama, 5 times champion Julian GODFREY is not going to make it 6, and we could have another rookie champion. Nathan Heathcote following on from Dan Rook as Warren Scott goes really wide at Clairvaux. Very nearly had to pay to get back into the circuit there, so why did he go? But he amazingly hangs on to his place ahead of Steve Hill. Julian GODFREY on 3 wheels is trying to carry on and take some points, because if anybody else dropped out and he kept going, he might just be able to take the points required. So he's dragging the mortal remains of the car, but the clerk of the course may not like that on 3 wheels. He won't be doing much good to the track surface. Bennett sideways down at the hairpin. Proctor slow and Hill challenging. They had a great battle in the semi-final, but here Steve Hill's challenge is repelled. Whew, time to catch your breath. High drama in the race. Heathcote leading, Bennett 2nd, Scott 3rd. Then it's Proctor ahead of Hill and Duran. And now Kevin Proctor is ahead of Warren Scott. Look, he might have a problem. He slows a little and he goes wide again at Clairvaux. Warren's picked up some damage along the way in the Liam Duran prepped car. And now it's Steve Hill who comes up to challenge him. So Warren Scott starting to struggle a little bit, but Nathan Heathcote, winner here at the start of the season, leads the final for the Supercars. And could he come out as the race winner and the championship winner? It looks like he might be able to here. Ollie Bennett coming under attack from Kevin Proctor, who again gets quicker as the race wears on, but by that stage the damage is done really, because Nathan Heathcote is away and gone, and Ollie Bennett's better pace than the start of the season puts him very clearly ahead of Proctor, making him a hard man to pass. Fourth is Steve Hill ahead of Duran and then Harris. The two drivers that got in as reserves because of the problems for Grant and for Mad Mark, putting them in the points in the top 6. There's Proctor hard at work. What can he do, if anything, now about Ollie Bennett, as Nathan Heathcote looks as though he is on target for the win. Down towards the hairpin. It's very slippery there, but he can check his mirrors and see the gap he's got. So now he just has to drive smoothly, as then knocking tyre stacks aside is Kevin Proctor, ahead of Ollie Bennett now. Onto the last lap goes Nathan Heathcote, last year's Suzuki Swift champion, and his LD Motorsports run DS3 looks like it's going to give him a race win. There is Nathan Heathcote. He started the season in the Citroën C4, the car built by Kenneth Hansen's team that's in the hands here of Pat Duran, as way wide goes Kevin Proctor. And although it won at the start of the season, this DS3 is a much more modern car, and that's what Nathan Heathcote has been using for the second half of the season to very good effect. Remember, he won at Pembrey, and it looks like he's going to win at Croft as well. Nathan Heathcote bounces his way across the loose. There is one corner to go. The 2017 Toyo Tyres MSA British Rallycross Champion is Nathan Heathcote as he blasts across the line. Nathan Heathcote wins the final at Croft. He wins the championship. Ollie Bennett blasts his way through after a great rookie season in the sport behind Kevin Proctor. Nathan Heathcote is a race winner. Kevin Proctor second, Ollie Bennett third, ahead of Steve Hill, Jake Harris and Pat Duran. Julian Godfrey doesn't make it to the end.
MSA British Rallycross Champion, your first year in Supercar, how does that feel?
Yeah, I never thought I'd come into it this year. I thought I'd definitely come in, hopefully getting towards the top, but yeah, to come out number one is just an awesome feeling. I mean, I had my fair bit of luck today. I had to come first and Junior had to come sixth. It was never really going to be massively easy for me, but yeah, it's all come together. And to finish the year in the top 3 overall and another podium finish, pretty special.
Yeah, I couldn't have asked for better in my first year. I remember my first ever event here, sat in the car thinking I'm going to get lapped. So to achieve what I have in my first year, I just can't believe it really, and it's been amazing.
Let's confirm the championship at the end of the season. Nathan Heathcote, the champion by 3 points from Julian Godfrey. Ollie Bennett third from Kevin Proctor. The new British Rallycross champion is Nathan Heathcote.